Okay, so yes, I'm trying to catch up on videos. I got a little behind. So I actually want to talk about Indiana Jones 5. Now, before you get the wrong idea, because first of all, Steven Spielberg isn't behind it, so why are they going forward with it? That's my first question. No, but like, I remember when they announced Indiana Jones 4 and the jokes were that it was geriatric. You know, that he was too old, that it wasn't going to work and all this stuff and this, that, and the other. Where were those jokes when Harrison Ford took on the role of Han Solo? I'm just saying, everybody was excited to see him as Han Solo, but when he plays, I don't know, maybe it's because of the actual character and what he does. I guess that's where it is. But this is the thing. Now, I have seen where a lot of these channels are talking about the leaks that have recently. I don't care, to be honest. I did comment on Drunk 3PO's video a couple days ago, and I actually want to talk about what I commented on here. But this is the thing. This is a common thing now, is they'll announce something and then there's like constant delays. They did this with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, constant delays, and then there's fights among the cast and crew. This person leaves, there's this happening, that happening, it goes on the back burner, we never hear about it again, this, that, blah, 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 blah. And then we find out more often than not that it is a passing of the torch story. How many of those stupid fucking passing of the torch stories? I heard about it yesterday, okay? That people are really pissed off, fans are really pissed off about the fact that Iron Man especially was killed off. They want Robert Downey Jr. back. Well, here's the problem. The character's gone. And there were people on social media that were saying what they should have done is let somebody else play the character. Well, unfortunately, didn't somebody else play Captain America and people didn't like that? Yeah, wasn't it in Falcon Winter Soldier, that Falcon and Winter Soldier, I should say, that somebody else played Captain America? Because Chris Evans had stepped away from the character, his contract was done, and somebody else played and you guys rioted practically. So it's a lose-lose situation, to be honest. But honestly, the studio should not have killed off the characters. I mean, when it comes to the mythical characters, they can regenerate because they're mythical creatures, the mythical character like Loki and Thor. Or you could do like what Roseanne did. Remember, her husband died, and then all of a sudden they decided to do the reboot. They're like, it's just a dream. Oh Lord, I could just see them doing that too. Hey, there's an idea. Oh my gosh, but I am so sick. Everybody is sick of the passing of the torch. Okay, it's like uh because you have these iconic characters and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, okay, Uh, and from what it looks like, that's what's going to happen here, which, first of all, why? Why are you going to pass the torch? Didn't you do that in Indiana Jones 4 to Shia LaBeouf? And you're just going to do it again to this girl that's in the, I don't know. I'm seeing these stories where it's there's like time travel and and I guess that was scrapped, and then there's another where this girl is with him, you know, like a student or something, and she's traveling with him, and then he's going to pass the torch on to, you know, whatever. And but yeah, because she's the actress that fans are not happy, because she was the same one that was in the last James Bond, which was also a passing of the torch bullshit. And so here we are. I just feel like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. And because it keeps happening. And but Disney keeps forgetting their own source material, because in Indiana Jones 4, he passed the torch on to his son. I hate when Hollywood does this in general. Okay, because there was that Superman Returns. Who remembers that movie? And we found out, yeah, sorry, spoiler alert on this one, but we found out that Superman has a son. What happened with that? We're just supposed to forget that, because then wasn't it that Henry Cavill, or however you say his last name, was suddenly the next Superman? And it totally glossed over the fact that Superman had a son. We're just supposed to be reading the comic books now. Stop doing that. Not everybody reads comics. Okay. And like, the other one was that one Batman that was with Christian Bale, and it had Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's another spoiler here, where his character played the cop, and he found the Batcave. So was that like supposed to be this big thing where he was gonna play Robin? Like, that would have been so cool. That, where did that go? Because next thing you know, Ben Affleck is Batman. Oh, I hate when they do this. Yeah, so yeah. But here's the problem. Okay, so pass the torch to Shia LaBeouf, and then all of a sudden we have this person. I don't even know who she is, and I don't care, to be honest. But shows how much I really don't fucking care about this fifth movie. I have all respect for Harrison Ford, and because, you know, there was a point where they said that Chris Pratt was going to be playing Indiana Jones because Harrison Ford was too old. Remember that? This uh... So here's the thing, and this is what I had commented on Drunk 3PO's thing is they can't pass the torch. They can't pass the torch to this random girl. And here's the reason why. They could pass the torch to a son. They can do that because the character Indiana Jones had like a ton of kids and a ton of grandkids. It says that on all the wiki pages and and even on the Raider.net, if I remember correctly. And but this is the thing, is in Indiana Jones 4, Indiana is with his son in a cave, I believe, and he references one of his adventures when he was a boy. So as soon as that happens, that means that the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles was referenced and became canon. Now, before that, Disney was saying that that didn't exist. Never happened, never exists. Now it exists. Okay. So they referenced it, it exists. It's a thing now. Well, so in doing that, that means that Indiana Jones lives to be like 90 something, because with the Indiana Jones Chronicles, for those of you that are my age that remember it being a TV series, the episodes would open up with this old man. It's like, I mean, he had a patch over his eye and the glasses over the patch, and you know, the eyeglasses over the patch and everything. And so you would start out the episode with this old man, and then something would happen, and then it would remind him of something from his youth. And so he would start off the episode. Okay, well, this is the thing. In 1999, and it even says so here, and I'll put this in the description box, of course. Now, the Indiana Jones trilogy were put in a box set. I have it, it's still sealed. And when you got it, you also got a VHS of the Young Indiana Jones, and I believe it had the peacock's eye. So at that time, in 1999, the series was re-edited into 22 television films under the title The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones. Okay, so that means, and I remember seeing the other VHS in Hollywood Video. Yeah, we had Hollywood Video around here. I don't remember ever seeing Blockbuster around here, but that doesn't mean anything. And so, yeah, all of them on VHS, but there was one that came with that box set. I have it, still sealed. And so it was, but the thing is that they took out Old Indy. Now, Old Indy was played by George Hall. And the thing about it is, even in the video games, he showed up. Old Indy showed up. And so, but what's even more interesting about this is when I put my comment on Drunk 3PO's video, I said something about how the Indiana Jones character Wikipedia showed George Hall's publicity picture, and it was also, so they acknowledged that Indiana Jones lived to be 90. That picture is gone. It has been taken down from the Wikipedia page. Within 2 days, it has been 2 or 3 days, it has been taken down. So I don't know I'm not going to point fingers and say immediately that it was Disney, because of course Wikipedia is easily hacked. I mean, Big Bang Theory proved that much. So I'm not going to point fingers and say, oh, Disney did it, or anything like that. No, nothing like that, because again, but I just find it really interesting that that's pointed out. And then all of a sudden that picture has been there for so long. And now all of a sudden it's not there. That was for the Wikipedia page for the character Indiana Jones. It's always been there. And they all of a sudden take it down. So I'm pretty sure somebody saw that. I mean, that is so bizarre. Now, on the Young Indiana Jones Wikipedia page, he's still there. It shows Corey Carrier. I'm sorry if I'm saying his last name wrong. And of course, Sean Patrick Flannery, Harrison Ford, because Harrison Ford showed up in a episode, and then of course George Hall. So, but yeah, basically, I mean, you can't pass the torch. You can't pass the torch because you already did it in the fourth one. I watched the movie. I'm not a big fan of the fourth one, but I mean, that ending, the whole thing was that he passed the torch. Look, spoiler alert, he put the hat on the kid's head. That's an obvious thing where he's passing the torch to his son. And so to be honest, you really shouldn't be doing this fifth movie, right? But to establish it, a lot of times what they do is they pass the torch, and then there's like they kill off the character, right? How many times did they do that with these Avengers characters, right? Or they did that with in Star Wars, in those sequel trilogy, and that's why a lot of the people are starting to despise the sequel trilogy. And there are a few people that still like them, and that's totally fine. But it's just, you can't do it. And you can't erase it because there are enough people who remember this. His picture is everywhere. There are yeah. Oh. It's in another dimension. It's whatever. Oh, geez. I love how they do the whole universe and all this. I actually hate it. Look, this isn't Doctor Strange. This is Dr. Jones. Holy shit. Stop. Oh. Anyway, so basically that's I wanted to point that out. Yeah. I remember I mean, am I the only one that remembers Old Indy? I feel like I am. Hopefully I'm not. But yeah, uh these Indiana Jones TV movies that we're seeing now, they were actually episodes, and they've been re-edited into the movies that we see now. And the episodes were, they started off with old Indy, and then he would do his flashback, which would have either the young boy Corey as a 10-year-old Indiana Jones, or then Sean Patrick Flannery, and later on. So anyway, passing of the torch already happened. It was in the fourth one. I'm not sure why nobody's picking up on this. I've loved Indiana Jones since I was 6 years old. Okay, I was that old when The Last Crusade came out, and I remember all the hype. There was a neighbor kid that had some of the toys from before, and because I don't believe there were toys for the last one and everything, and I've seen circulate for the books. I have all the books, the novels and everything, and I I would like to see those come back. You know, I really would. I would like to see them be reprinted or something. That would be great, because they're great books. They really are. And my favorite is still Secret of the Sphinx, because that's the one where it's the mom and daughter looking for the the mom is looking for her husband, and the daughter just gives Indy a really hard time. That she's first has a crush on Indy, and then she just gives him such a hard time. And of course, Indy is not big into kids, and yeah, that one's my favorite. And a couple of them are pretty trippy. I mean, the one where he's in Peru, I'm pretty sure it's the Peru one where he's on the bridge, and all of a sudden it's like I it kind of trips me up a little bit. But yeah, I've been a fan for a long time, and so I just had to put in my 2 cents on this one. And I don't know that I'll watch them. I mean, especially with Steven Spielberg not being behind it, I have a hard time with that, so because, and especially how he stepped away from it. It sounds like they had quite an explosive fight on that. So anyway, I'll go ahead and close up here.